going on, guys? How you doing on this Monday evening? We are 39 minutes away from Monday Night Raw. Am I going to rush this review to be able to get downstairs and watch Raw? Not really, but I'm still going to watch Raw after this either way. I'm not going to review Raw tonight, though, guys. I keep saying, Mondays I'm usually tired because of work and whatnot. But luckily, next week I'm on vacation. So maybe I'll review Raw immediately afterwards next Monday. Who knows? But this is the Club with the Man 1993, and I am here live for my live review of NXT TakeOver 31. Took place last night on the WWE Network, October 4th, 2020, at not Full Sail University, back at the Performance Center. Now they're calling it, and of course, I guess there's a little more of a history behind it that I am not, for me, a late bloomer wrestling fan, and I'm not as caught up with at times, but it is at the Capitol Wrestling Center at the Performance Center. Very neat design, I gotta say. I liked it. Basically, NXT's Thunderdome, pretty much. It was fancy. It was nice. I did enjoy it. I thought I heard rumors about that they were trying to move out of Full Sail because of the fact that there were actual students there who were taking part in the filming of the NXT shows, and fortunately, because of what's currently going on in the world right now, they wanted to kind of avoid having them being around everybody else. So this is the temporary home for NXT for now. Cool with me. Again, it looks pretty neat, I gotta say. I like the design and everything. Of course, I did not like the piped-in noises. Again, it's ridiculous how they do that. Especially, again, it makes me more mad with NXT. Because NXT thrives on the crowd. Yet with a micromanaged, controlled crowd, it's really hurting the product. As I said in my TakeOver 31 preview predictions. But overall, this TakeOver, I came in having lower expectations than I usually do for an NXT TakeOver. I thought this was going to be the weakest TakeOver of all time, to be honest, because of the lack of build. It's only been a little over a month since the last TakeOver, and I just thought that this was just super thrown together, not much build. And when you have a stacked roster, though, with so much talent, that unfortunately has no direction, it hurts the storytelling. The wrestling on this show, excellent. As always, excellent matches. Storytelling to me was still kind of off. The results of most of these matches didn't really have me too excited for what's upcoming for NXT. You could have, with some switches, I predicted 3 title changes in my preview and predictions. How many did we get? 0. We got 0 title changes on this show. Yeah, a few of them, I think are going to still benefit from it. We do kind of have some exciting stuff coming up for the women's division, not going to deny that. We kind of have a storyline going for the Undisputed Era now. But everything else, where's it going? Again, it just doesn't seem again, NXT, this is a show where NXT kind of need, get something turned around and going. Did it flop? No. Again, we have a storyline going with the Undisputed Era now, wondering who attacked Adam Cole, even though it seems pretty obvious it may have been Ridge Holland, or it could have been something else. We had the beginning of a good singles push for Kyle O'Reilly. We revealed the mystery person. We also had another return as well happen after the women's match. And of course we have some random guy peeking up in the Cruiserweight division. Now I have no idea who he is, but I guess we'll find out. I don't know. It's just weird, but let me pull up the results here. I can read off some notes I need to. We forgot to do that. My mistake. Results. Here we go. Yeah, no, it's I'm not a big football fan, so don't worry about that. Anyways, so let's talk about this show. Let's get rolling into it. Again, was it a horrible show? No. Was it the weakest TakeOver of all time? No. But it was definitely one of them. It wasn't the weakest one, but still a fun show to sit down and watch. But not one that I'm gonna want to watch over a bunch of other takeovers. Again, NXT is still kind of hit a little bit of a rut. And do they have to turn things around? Yes. But it's still fun to watch. I mean, I wouldn't tell someone to go out of their way to watch this show, but it was still a fun show. I'm not going to say it was a horrible show. Again, it's just, something's missing. Something is missing, and there's a lot of direction I think that's missing right now with the brand. Let me see here. What we got in the live chat? We got J.R. Campbell, what's up? Mentioning the return. I'll get to that later on. Tyler says he didn't watch it at all last night, and newsflash, he's not watching Raw either. How's your day been? How's it going? I've had a friend that's getting on my nerves. That sucks. Just work today. Had customers get on my nerves as well, so I feel you there. Those real fans that were back, they were banging off the fence, Capital Wrestling Center, which I do. A lot of people were saying this too. I did like the fact they put a fence in to make it something different. The plexiglass, after a while, was kind of getting dull. But having that chain fence in there, I like that. And Tyler's going to review Backlash 2009 tomorrow. Okay, cool. But let's get rolling and talk about this show. So, we opened up with... Now, I am going to have a rant in this show, in this review, about something. I would start it with this next match, but I'm going to wait till a little bit later on when I go all full out rant with it. I'm going to kind of give you a preview of that rant in this match. The opening match for the NXT North American Championship. Damien Priest versus Johnny Gargano. Fun opener. Not going to take it away from that. Very fun opener. As I said in my preview predictions, definitely the hardest match for me to predict. Because I'd hate to see Damien Priest have a very short title reign. But there's also Johnny Gargano, who just really needs to get the wheels turning for him as a heel. And as I said so far, I have not been the biggest fan of his heel run. Did this show change my mind about that? To be honest, it made me hate his heel run even more. I mean, again, the match itself was good. I like how they teased that spot where Priest took back a takeover in your house when he got drop kicked off of the apron back first onto the steel steps. They did tease that spot. I love the spot. My favorite spot of the entire match was when Damien Priest did that Tope Suicina over it was like a Ricochet caliber move from NXT. He literally dived over one of the ring posts, and Johnny got out of the way, and he took out two announce crew members. Of course, with with a little bit of a distraction on the referee there, Johnny low blowed him and tried to get the win off of that, but it did not work out. Eventually, though, Damien Priest does get the win with the Reckoning, and he wins. So I'm like, okay, I'm fine with Damien Priest's title reign continuing. But how many more matches is Johnny Gargano going to lose? How many more is Johnny going to lose? Again, since he's turned heel, only thing he's done is beat Tommaso Ciampa. I remember he beat, he beat Ridge Holland to get into the North American Championship ladder match, but it's his third opportunity in the last, excluding Great American Bash, 3 takeovers in a row, Johnny Gargano has had a North American Championship shot, whether it was one-on-one or in a multi-man ladder match, and he's lost. It's like, yes, Johnny's awesome, one of the best to ever wrestle in NXT, but again, how is he supposed to stay relevant or make it feel like a big deal when someone beats him if he's doing nothing but losing as a heel? He's just losing and losing and losing, and to me, he's had nothing to make his character still look relevant, nothing to keep his stock relevant, and that's the problem I had with this. Well, not as much as something later on he was involved in. because I wasn't 100% set that Johnny was going to win this match again, because I didn't want to see Damien Priest lose the title instantly either. But dang, Johnny lost yet another match. Again, like, that's just the problem too with him turning heel also, because he's gotten no results out of it, and his title reigns were short. So yeah, and even he even tweeted on Twitter, like, this is getting comical, and of course it even kind of describes the outcome from this show. Let me see here. He tweeted out, it's almost comical at this point. Something has to change. I'm better than this. We're bigger than this, which is definitely for sure. But yeah, Johnny is this. Where do we go with him at this point? Especially what happened later on, which that's when I'll dig more into the rant. But well, not the hardcore rant I do like on Raw or SmackDown when it absolutely sucks. But it's just like, Johnny's just... What happened to him? The Johnny Gargano way is not working at all whatsoever. But a good opener for still. No, not bad. Always a great wrestling match when it comes to Johnny Gargano. But it's just that the results of this match, I'm like, okay, cool, Damien Priest gets a big win, but what's happening with Johnny now? Where's Johnny going? We'll talk about him in a little bit also. So that was the opening match. The second match on this card, it was Kushida taking on the Velveteen Dream. This was a physical, limp-ripping beatdown, or whatever the heck you want to call it. Velveteen Dream did get his offense in there. But geez, oh man, did Kushida beat the absolute piss out of him in this match. It was hard-hitting. Kushida worked at the limbs, the arms, the legs. Like, he just literally tore Velveteen Dream to shreds in this match. And he eventually would win by getting Velveteen Dream to tap out. But boy, oh boy, again, did he have to literally just go through a war just to get Velveteen Dream to do so, which made Kushida look good in the long run. Like I said before, Velveteen Dream's career is obviously super duper hindered right now, and some people are wondering if the way this match was written, because after the match, even after Kushida got him to tap out to the hoverboard lock, he still tried to inflict more pain on the Velveteen Dream. So again, was that meant to just... Because, again, Dream sold it. Again, he oversold in this match. He made Kushida look like a monster, just with all he was doing to him in this match. So I'm wondering if they're going to take him off TV again. And quite frankly, again, I'm sorry, but I think they should. Again, I still think, again, I'm not siding as to whether Velveteen Dream is innocent or guilty, but I'm just going to say that they brought him back at the wrong time. They didn't give the fans any type of closure or just any way just to clear themselves from all this. And yes, some people said on Twitter, even so, it's still going to be hanging on him and whatnot. But at least it can allow us to kind of just be a little more welcoming to him in the audience. And, just let him, be himself again and whatnot. Because, again, like, right now, like I said, if he stays on TV, it's like, what's the point of him being on TV if nobody wants to see him succeed at all? Not even give him the proper heel heat. Like, it's just going to drive him into the ground. But, I did want to mention also, speaking of, just coming out to saying something to give us some type of closure with it, a former WWE superstar actually did. And let me pull up the tweet while I'm here to talk about it. Gentleman Jack Gallagher, of course Jack Claffey, broke his silence for the first time since June when he got released and the whole Speak It Out movement began. Claffey said, following an allegation made in June 2020 as part of the Speaking Out movement, I was released from my contract with the WWE. I didn't release a statement then because it didn't feel the right thing to do at the time. I have now taken the time to process what has happened and would like to respond. In 2014, at a New Year's Eve party, I met a young woman and my behavior towards her was inappropriate. As this party was nearly 6 years ago and I had drank quite a large amount of alcohol that night, unfortunately, I did not recollect what happened. I wish to make it clear that drinking is not an excuse for my behavior that night, and I want to express my deepest regrets, and I am genuinely sorry for the upset that I have caused. Following these allegations, I proactively contacted the head of talent relations and to take responsibility for my actions, as I was aware that the woman who made the allegations and I had both attended the same party. I was then informed that this would be a breach of the company ethics policy, and this is what led to my release from the WWE. This isolated incident is not reflective of my behavior and attitude towards women. As a man, I know I can do better, and with the support of my wife, I have taken the time over the last few months to understand what I can do. This is not about me, but about the women that come forward as part of the hashtag Speaking Out movement. I will continue to support women and this movement to the best of my ability. Which, yes, was he wrong? Correct, yeah, but the man came out, told us what happened, and I said, I'm sorry. Nothing to do. He can't take it back. It happened. So it's like, I'm just saying, like, why can't we get some type of clarity from that with Velveteen Dream? Jack Claffey was able to come out, tell us what happened, and just say, I'm sorry. That's all Velveteen Dream needs to do. I mean, am I going to be like, are we going to be rooting for him like crazy? No, it's going to take us some time to get the respect back. But leaving the fans in the dark, as I'm saying, is just continuing to make it worse. It really is going to make it worse. But either way, I still thought this match with him and Kushida was pretty good. Again, Kushida was definitely brutalizing Dream and putting him in a lot of pain. So, it worked. So, that's that. Kushida wins in his first TakeOver. Finally gets a TakeOver match. And he wins. So, cool by me. The next match we got Santos Escobar taking on Isaiah Swerve Scott. Another great match, but once again, the results, I was certain they were going to put the belt on Isaiah Swerve Scott here, especially since NXT UK is back, and of course, remember, this is the interim Cruiserweight Champion. There's Jordan Devlin, who is the real Cruiserweight Champion. So, I'm just saying, why would I want to see Santos Escobar versus Jordan Devlin? I mean, yes, I've said some heel versus heel, feuds would work. I don't see it clicking with Santos Escobar and Jordan Devlin. I'd rather be Isaiah Swerve Scott and Jordan Devlin. That's what I would do. But again, the match was fun. I remember there was a spot in the match where Legado del Fantasma came out just to interfere in the match. And then we had, what's his name again? We had that one random guy that's just, what's his name? He was the jobber against a Velveteen Dream in his first singles match back. Besides the the matches he had for the North American Championship to get into that mess. What was it again? I'm pulling it down. Ashante the Adonis, I think it is. Again, who? Who are you? I mean, I don't watch 205 Live, so if he's been on 205 Live, again, I have no clue who he is. So, if they're going to have him feud with Santos Escobar next, gotta show him a little more on NXT for me to get invested. So, again, good match. Definitely the first match, I would definitely say I was disappointed with the results. Again, I like Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma. A fun stable. I still think they could do more with it. But I think this should have been Scott. I don't know why they didn't pull the trigger on Isaiah Swerve Scott here. Just saying. So before we get on to the next match, which is going to include part 2 of my rant for this show. Just a live chat. Live chat, he says, hey, Daniel Bryan retired. Jesse comes back. Not sure what you mean by that. Johnny is winless on takeovers in 2020. That's right, that is true. Johnny Gargano should go up to the main roster. Ugh. I hate to say it, but I disagree with that. Especially with the direction he has now. Like, if he is directionless in NXT and really not succeeding with anything right now in NXT, then I definitely don't want Vince McMahon getting his paws on him. I'm sorry. I don't feel safe at all. Like, if it was a year ago, after TakeOver Toronto, when he had his trilogy, the third match with Adam Cole, that 3 Stages of Hell match, I'd be up for giving it a shot. But with how I've not been a big fan of this heel run at all, I definitely don't want him touching the main roster. Definitely not right now. But let's continue on with this rant about the Garganos, because we have match number 4. The NXT Women's Championship match with Io Shirai and Candice LeRae. Speaking of TakeOver Toronto 2, these two had an excellent match on that show. Except, of course, the roles were reversed. This match, still great. Don't get me wrong. Still an excellent match. These two women are definitely two great performers, have excellent chemistry. And I thought the match was great. However, though, there was a point where I kind of floundered on this a little bit. So, there was a spot in the match where Candice LeRae had accidentally elbowed the referee or something like that. Similar to what Aleister Black did in his match with Kevin Owens last week. And then Io goes for like a moonsault or something, and while in the air, she kicks the referee out of the ring by accident. So, and then I think what was it now? Trying to think, what was I think it was when the referee was knocked out of the ring, Candice went for that wicked sister or twisted sister or whatever she calls that finishing maneuver where she kind of does like a backstab or like stomps you in the back or something in your spine or something like that. I forgot what she calls it, something sister or something like that. And of course, Candice should have won there, but of course, the referee wasn't looking. Well, then here comes Johnny Gargano. This I was just like, oh no, don't tell me you're doing what they did at Extreme Rules. Johnny came running out with this too big looking referee shirt on. It covered up his... It looked like he had no pants on. It looked like Johnny had no pants on. I'm sorry, that's what it looked like to me. He came out, and I can't remember if it was here. I think it might have been here. Candice hit Io with the title. And Johnny goes for a fast count, and Io still kicked out. And the referee gets back up. He's yelling at Johnny to give him back his shirt or something like that, or to take off the shirt or something. I can't remember. If I thought he was yelling to give back my shirt, it's like, dude, you're still wearing the shirt. But Johnny gets out of the ring, and then he's staying on the side there, but eventually Io beats Candice. Io beat Candice. I love you, Io. And I can kind of forgive Damien Priest winning. Candice should have won this. I'm sorry. If Johnny wasn't going to win, Candice should have won this. Because there was still a long-term direction for her if she would become champion right here. We had a feud going with Candice LeRae and Tegan Nox. And Tegan Nox is out for a lengthy period of time now with her third ACL tear. You could have had Candice had a lengthy title reign, continue to build up this heel character of hers that was intriguing me more than Johnny Gargano's heel character. And maybe off of that, Johnny could have benefited from it, and maybe Johnny could have become NXT champion someday or something like that, if he would have gotten some wins underneath his belt or something like that. But now that Candice is lost, what now? At this point, they're both screwed. Nothing they've done has succeeded as heels. Candice interests me more as a heel, but again, nothing. Where do we go from here with both of them? They're supposed to be the power couple in NXT, yet all they've done is nothing but lose. They lose. They lose. They lose. So, like, where do we go next? What are they gonna do? Sit in their rooms in their house from their TV and just pout about it? Like, at this point, logically they should be saying, "Hey, this Gargano way ain't working." Obviously, us, doing what we've done has done nothing for us. Like, I don't get why we couldn't put at least one belt on the Garganos. Like, especially Candice. Like, again, I love Io, and I'm fine with her still being champion, and I'm fine with her feuding with the people she can be feuding with next, as it showed. But this was the prime time to actually do something to help benefit somebody else. Like, if Io lost the title here, she would have been fine. But Candice LeRae, literally, this was like the right moment, like the perfect shot to put the belt on Candice, help her and Johnny out with that, and of course the long-term booking for Tegan Nox to come back and give Candice LeRae her comeuppance, because that to me should have been how it was for Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai. And the pandemic kind of hurt that a little bit. Still great feud, great matches, but the end result, not what it needed to be. But this right here, this was the one I'm like, okay, yes, so Isaiah Swerve Scott should have won the title, but this was like, okay, yeah, this was the biggest mistake of the night. I'm sorry, Candice should have won this match. Candice should have won it. That way it gave the Garganos something to make them look powerful. Now it's like they're losers. Like, again, like, they're this whole Gargano way, it's failed. So, like, now what do you do with them? Like, if you thought Johnny Gargano just didn't feel like, much of like a big deal anymore as a heel since he just loses all of his title matches. Again, he's had 3 North American title opportunities. 3 North American title opportunities. Well, I'm sorry, 4 counting the triple threat match he had with him, Balor, and Lee whenever they're deciding who's going to face Adam Cole in the winner-take-all match at NXT Great American Bash. So, again, now it's like, again, like, it's dead. The whole angle, the whole Gargano way, gimmick, to me, it's dead. I mean, at this point, just make them both baby faces again. Like, get them both back, like, get them some type of direction, because right now, they're dead in the water. Like, the Gargano way has failed. There's no other way to cover it up or anything. It's failed. But still an excellent match, though. Io retains. Afterwards, though, we get 2 big returns. First, we hear the voice. And it is Toni Storm on the Titantron. She came up and basically just said she's back in NXT and has always been Toni time, so she'll see Io around, which I'm like, okay, rematch from the Mae Young Classic Finals. Awesome. Then they show this mystery person flying in on a motorcycle, and they enter the building. And I'm thinking, okay, is this when we're going to finally see Bo Dallas? Because I still thought it was going to be Bo Dallas. I was pretty positive it was going to be Bo. I believed it was going to be Bo Dallas. But then I'm like, oh, wait. Io's still in the ring. Like, what would Bo Dallas and Io be doing? But then the person walks in, takes off the helmet, and funny thing enough, just 2 seconds before this, my friend I was watching the show with had just said he doesn't think this person is ever going to wrestle again. Or in the words of Bayley, ding dong, even though I hate when she says that. You were wrong, my friend. Because Ember Moon was the mystery person. They threw us off by saying a former NXT champion. How about a former NXT women's champion? Ember Moon's back in NXT. Awesome. I like it. I loved it. We haven't seen Ember, I think, since shortly after her SummerSlam match with Bayley last year. She apparently tore her Achilles chasing after R-Truth's 24/7 championship. But there had been some talk that Ember was never going to wrestle again, which would have been unfortunate. And her main roster run was not the worst I've seen, but they had no direction for her. Vince was not that high on her at all, which is a shame because she was awesome in NXT. Just freaking watch her second match with Asuka at TakeOver Brooklyn 3, Vince. Watch that match and you'll definitely not be disappointed. Her matches with Shayna were pretty good. Her performance in the Fatal 4 where she won the women's title were excellent. Like, don't count that woman out. She's back in NXT and she's going to do excellent things. Now, as far as, of course, one of them is going to turn heel. Either Ember or Tony. Either one's fine with me, but I think we're probably going to do Tony. Tony was on the verge of turning heel before the pandemic. It was very obvious with how she was booked when she had that match with Rhea Ripley at Worlds Collide, and then also when she how she basically her run in NXT UK ended with that I Quit match to Kaylee Ray. So I'm thinking it's probably gonna be Tony turning heel. Although I'd be okay with giving Ember Moon a shot as a heel, but we'll see where it goes. But yep, Ember Moon's back in NXT. But I still think this was the biggest mistake of not having Candice win this match. Because now the Garganos are dead in the water and I just don't know where the heck they're going to go. So, that's unfortunate. Main event time, though. Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly for the NXT Championship. And then I thought this was almost exactly what I wanted to see. It maybe could use like one or two big more spots, but this is the beginning to setting the stage, building the bricks, to me, of making Kyle O'Reilly the next big babyface in NXT. He looked awesome in this match. It was a technical masterpiece, him working the legs and the arms of Balor, fighting through, some of the pain. Like, a turning point in the match was when Balor had just nailed O'Reilly in the midsection, and O'Reilly was thrown off after that. But then these two just literally beat the hell out of each other. There was some blood in the match, of course, as they were bleeding from their jaws and such. And these two just, again, similar to like how Kushida, except it was more of a one-sided match with Kushida and Velveteen Dream. These two just worked on each other's limbs like they were just pulling them right out of their places. Because even O'Reilly had worked the knee very well of Balor. Again, just really excellent psychology here. And I think O'Reilly even kicked out of the 1916. But he wasn't able to kick out the coup de grace, which is what led to Balor winning the match. But just an excellent war, like I said. Like, again, it's what, well, as far as a swerve going, wasn't quite what I expected. We'll get into what happened after the match. But as far as, trying to make Kyle O'Reilly one of the next biggest, probably maybe the next big babyface in NXT, this was a great way to start it off, I felt. But, of course, Balor retains, as we expected. Afterwards, they shook hands, which I'm like, oh, gosh, why? And, of course, also, isn't Finn Balor supposed to be a heel? I still don't know what Finn Balor is supposed to be at this point. But as they're shaking hands, they look out into the crowd. And there's Ridge Holland holding Adam Cole over his shoulders, dumps him on the floor, and he walks away. Obviously, he had the shit beat out of him. And out comes Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish as well. And then Finn and O'Reilly even check on Cole as well, wondering what happened. So either Ridge Holland beat the piss out of him, or somebody else did. And Ridge Holland was just being a placeholder. With the rumor speculating, I think this may have been Strong and Fish. But they were just kind of like having, Holland kind of, stand in their place to throw him off. Could be a way to give Holland a little bit of a rub, because I keep saying, again, I've trying to get back into watching the UK, because again, I watched one episode, I'm going to watch the other two, so I'm still going to watch, them here and there. Not religiously like I watch NXT, AEW, Raw, and SmackDown. Well, even though I don't bother, going back and watching a whole episode of Raw and SmackDown if I miss it. I'll watch a whole episode of NXT or AEW, but, anyways, but NXT UK, one day I turn on, I watch a whole bunch of the shows in in a row, and I'll do a review of them on them and talk about it. Because again, that show interests me a little bit still. But I still do have a lot of faith in Rich Holland. I definitely still am definitely interested in his mystique and everything. This could give him a good rub. We'll see where it goes with it, but I think this is going to set up for the eventual breakup of the Undisputed Era. And either you're going to have just, Fish and O'Reilly be the heels, or Adam Cole can still be the heel with them. I still think Adam Cole as a heel has run its course. He can be a babyface, but I still think even if he's a babyface, at some point, probably not at the next TakeOver or Halloween Havoc, because they're doing Halloween Havoc on October 28th, which, okay, the next actual TakeOver, not sure if it's going to be next month or not. At some point, though, after we're probably going to do Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly versus Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish. At some point, though, in order to really take Kyle O'Reilly to another level as a babyface, which I think he's just about to be considered a babyface to me, in my opinion, we got to do Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly in NXT. We just got to do it. And I think it would be awesome. But with that being said, guys, it's just in time for Raw to come on in about a minute, but I'm going to wrap it up here. That's my thoughts on NXT TakeOver 31. Again, missed on some opportunities, I felt, especially for, a hook and a little of a direction. Again, a lot of these matches were great, but a lot of them, to me, left a lack of direction for what's next. The results could have been flipping. Again, especially the Garganos losing both of their matches. That was, I think, the biggest mistake on this show. But the Capitol Wrestling Center looked pretty cool, and I guess we'll just wait and see what's next. So, I'm going to give this show a B. Fun show, storytelling that was off. The direction was off, I thought, with that. But, I actually X'd out my Twitter, so when we first checked the polls, I believe last I saw, there was 5 votes. Everybody voted A for the show. Scroll down. Yeah, everybody voted A again. I'm giving it a B. A B. Fun show. Like I said, it just could have used a little more of a direction. A little bit like a hook to kind of, get, people to come back to NXT. So we are, let me see here. Are you gonna kick me off of the live chat? No, I'm not gonna kick you off the live chat. Unless you're being a jerk, I'm not gonna kick you off the live chat. You're fine, man. The damn PC, yes, it was a performance center, but at least they actually made it look a lot more interesting, I thought. I don't think Bryan's retired, no. He's going to stay WWE, the main roster will let him win, that's okay. If they do, maybe, who knows. I don't know, Triple H will be in charge. It was like when Benoit did not win the WF title from The Rock, and Ember had a bad run on the main roster. Okay. But guys, that's going to do it. Again, I'm not going to review Raw tonight, I'm going to wait till tomorrow. I'm going to try to throw together some brief predictions for the draft and try to do those this week. Can't promise that, but I'll try. And I'll try also this week to get my Hell in a Cell match card predictions in as well. And then next week when I'm off on vacation, maybe I'll do another top 10 stream. We'll see. So guys, B for NXT TakeOver 31. What are your thoughts on NXT TakeOver 31? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Slap a like on the video. Subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAir93. And guys, see you guys in my next video, which will most likely be my Raw live review tomorrow night. So until then, guys, I'm checking out. Have a good night. I'll see you all later. Peace out, everybody.